All right, let's talk about CrowdStrike. They just dropped a truly blockbuster quarter, and today we're going to unpack what it all means. We're going to look at how they're not just playing in the new AI era, but really aiming to be the security backbone for the entire revolution. So, let's get right into it. Let's just start with this one massive number that's got everyone talking. $5.25 billion. That is CrowdStrike's annual recurring revenue. It's a huge figure, and it actually makes them the first pure-play cybersecurity software company to ever cross that $5 billion mark. But what's really driving a number that big? Well, it all comes down to a really good fourth quarter in their 2026 fiscal year. I mean, this wasn't just a solid performance. It was record-breaking, and more importantly, it showed that their growth is actually picking up speed again. Just look at these numbers. The sheer speed of growth here is what's so impressive. Yeah, the ending ARR is up a healthy 24%, but check out the net new ARR. That's the new business they brought in this quarter. A record $331 million, up an incredible 47% from last year. That's what's fueling everything else. Record revenue, record cash flow. And you can see why. Customers are just adopting more and more of the platform, with half of them now using 6 or more of their security modules. You know, this slide right here tells the big story for investors. For a little while, growth was kind of slowing down, which is normal for a company this size, but CrowdStrike has officially turned that trend around. You can see both revenue and ARR growth ticking back up. That re-acceleration is a huge, powerful signal that their strategy is really hitting its stride. So the question is, how are they doing it? Well, a big part of the answer lies in their pretty innovative business model, something they call the Falcon Flex engine. Think of it as the go-to-market strategy that is just turbocharging how they land new customers and expand with the ones they already have. Okay, before we dive into Flex, just a quick refresher for anyone who needs it. ARR, or annual recurring revenue, is pretty much the holy grail metric for any subscription company. It's the predictable, recurring cash they can count on over the next year. It's really the best measure of the health and size of the business. So, what is Falcon Flex? It's basically a subscription that lets customers get access to CrowdStrike's entire menu of products, but they only pay for the security tools they actually turn on and use. It just removes all the friction and makes it super easy for them to try new things as their needs change. It completely flips the sales process into a conversation about managing risk, not just haggling over products. And this is where it gets really smart. It creates this powerful flywheel effect. A customer signs on with the Flex model. Then, a new threat pops up, so they easily switch on another security module from the platform. Then, once their usage grows, they reflex, that's CrowdStrike's word for it, and they expand their subscription, locking in a higher ARR. Demand drives usage, and usage drives more demand. It's a brilliant self-perpetuating cycle. And does it work? Oh yeah. The financial impact is just undeniable. On average, when a customer reflexes, their annual spending with CrowdStrike jumps by 26%. And get this. For the nearly 100 customers who've already done this multiple times, that second jump is another 48% on top of that. This model is literally a growth engine all by itself. But, this powerful business model is really just one part of a much bigger vision. CrowdStrike is positioning itself as absolutely mission-critical, like you can't live without it, for the entire AI revolution. And here's how the CEO, George Kurtz, puts it. AI is a double-edged sword. It's an amazing tool for businesses, for sure. But it's also a weapon that's making the bad guys faster, smarter, and way more dangerous. And that creates this urgent, massive new need for security that's actually built for this new AI world. Kurtz believes this AI revolution is basically splitting the entire software industry in two. On one side, you've got companies with nice-to-have features that AI can probably replace pretty easily. But on the other side, you've got mission-critical infrastructure, stuff built on unique proprietary data that actually fuels new AI models. And it's no surprise where CrowdStrike sees itself, firmly in that second thrive category. And their ambition here is just massive. They want to secure every single layer of this new AI economy. I mean, from the very foundation, the GPUs from NVIDIA, to the hardware from Dell, to the cloud giants like AWS and Azure where the models are trained, all the way up the stack to the AI apps and agents that we're all going to be using every day. Their goal is to be the protection layer for all of it. So, with a performance this good and a strategy this ambitious, what's the verdict from Wall Street? Let's take a look at what the investors and analysts are thinking. This is the multi-billion-dollar question, right? The stock has had an incredible run. So is there still room for it to grow, or is all the good news already baked into the price? Well, the consensus on Wall Street is overwhelmingly positive. I mean, just look at this. Out of 55 analysts covering the stock, you've got 40 with the buy rating, 15 on hold, and maybe most importantly, 0, not a single one with a sell. That's a pretty powerful bullish signal. But when you dig into the actual price targets, you see there's a pretty wide range of outcomes. The median target around $494 suggests there's still some healthy upside, and you've got some very optimistic analysts who think it could go as high as $700, but that low target of $368 also suggests there's some potential risk, which brings us to the main argument against the stock.
And here it is, the valuation. This quote from an analysis on NASDAQ really sums up the big concern for anyone who's skeptical. The stock is trading at a very, very high price-to-sales multiple. So for some people, even with this incredible growth in this massive AI opportunity, the price tag is just too steep to get involved right now.
So as we start to wrap this all up, we're left with a really clear but also pretty complex picture. This is a company that's at the absolute top of its game, staring down a once-in-a-generation opportunity. So here's the bottom line. CrowdStrike is executing almost flawlessly. They've got this innovative flex model that's driving their growth to re-accelerate, and they have made a very convincing case that they are essential for securing the AI revolution. The debate isn't really about the quality of the company, it's about the price of the stock. Investors are trying to balance this incredible momentum against a really premium valuation.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. CrowdStrike is building the defenses for the AI age, but the attackers, they're using AI too, and they're getting smarter and faster every single day. In this high-stakes, never-ending race between the attackers and the defenders, the real question is, what does it truly take to stay ahead for good? Thanks for tuning in.